How you doing, everyone? It's Kevin. I'm back with another video. A little while back, I found this framework here in the garbage, and I asked the people if I could have it. It was at a store, and they said, yeah, go ahead and take it. So I took it, and I thought this thing would make an awesome hunting blind. It's big enough inside that it'll fit one office chair, and it actually fits on a pallet. It'll fit right perfect on a pallet. And we have a few plastic pallets out there, so I thought maybe I would just line the floor with plywood and mount this thing right down on a pallet. That way you could take your tractor forks, go up underneath of it, and set it in the woods wherever you want. I think this thing is going to be pretty awesome. So what we're doing now is we're cleaning up some metal. This might be a little long process for us to do, but we're cleaning up some metal. We're using all recycled metal. This is all leftover metal from other projects we're going to be using on this. Now, eventually we'll probably have to paint this thing because most of the metal is white. Unless it's snowy outside, then you'd want it white. But right now, Julie is cleaning up some of the metal over here, and these are just, like I said, leftover pieces of metal. We're going to piece them together.
I always get the dirty work. Have you noticed? I always get the dirty work.
Well, here's the thing. I think you do a better job with the dirty work. Oh, I
don't want to hear that. I knew he was going to say that. He always says that just so he gets out of doing stuff.
So we're going to get the metal cleaned up, and we're going to get some of it put on the hunting blind today. You know, it's going to be a little tough. I don't know exactly how we're going to cut it.
It's been laying outside, so it got pretty dirty. But
yeah, the metal's nasty looking. But like I said, we probably will paint it.
Yeah.
Probably do some paint on it.
Oh, yeah, maybe some camo paint on it or something.
Yeah, something cool. I guarantee you.
Well, you want to kind of hide it, you know, when you're out in the woods.
Okay, so while Julie's over there cleaning off the metal that we're going to be using, I need to cut this beam right here out. And I need to weld another one in just straight across, because this is the side we're going to put the door on. This needs to be straight across for our door. This thing is definitely cockeyed a little bit. It's a little bowed, but I think we can still work with this with no problem. I think our door is going to be the hardest thing, but we'll get it. We'll figure it out. Well, that piece is out. So now what we got to do now is I have this piece, and we're going to cut this one to size, and we're going to mount it inside of here. So when we open our door, the door's square instead of that rounded shape. What do you think?
Looks good. Definitely sturdied it.
I thought that this would be an awesome hunting blind when I seen it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be able to step in this thing, close the door, be able to look out the window.
You can put yourself in a little buddy heater in here. It's about it.
Yeah, enough to warm you up.
Yeah, a little buddy heater would be nice in there.
So you got some metal cleaned up?
Yeah, I got it. For now, it's good enough for now. We'll have to wipe it off again. Okay.
So what we've done here is we've put one piece of metal up there, and we're going to have to trace all where the beams are, because I'm not going to be able to see the beams from the outside. I'm going to have to drill the holes first for the metal, then put it back up. That way we don't miss the beam.
Yeah.
So Julie's just going to trace all the black.
Okay, so all the way around.
Yep. Even the ones in the angle and straight across.
Okay.
You can go straight in.
Well, I couldn't because the clamp is there.
Go straight across that one. You don't have to go down the depths.
Oh, okay.
And do underneath that beam.
Underneath of it too?
Yeah, because so I know where that beam's at.
Okay, yeah, pull back on that.
Don't have to get it all, just get it close.
Say.
Okay, that's good. Got it, yeah, underneath there.
Go down this beam too?
Yep. This gives us an idea of where to drill them holes. And finish out this top up here.
Oh, man.
I'll do the top of it so we know where to cut it. All right, but now everything is marked on there. We can go ahead and cut our top, this line here, the length, and then we can pre-drill our holes. And we're going to put this up, but I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to weld that piece on the front before we get all the way up there, because I need to weld in the back of it too. So now the hard part comes. You come over here and hold down on this piece. Just hold down on that right there. So now to drill our holes, I'll lay a board down on here, and I'll go ahead and drill. So now we know where our holes got to be drilled. We'll go ahead and get this clamped back up. Just
I don't know if I can.
go all the way up over.
Okay, you good there?
Yeah. Okay, what we're using is a small metal screw, and these are 8 by 1.5 inch. I think I'm going to need more of these for sure. Probably another box or 2. They're a small Phillips head screw on them, and I could have probably tried to get self-tappers, but it's going through 1/8 inch steel, and it's really hard to use them through 1/8 inch steel. The only problem is I don't have anything to seal them, no rubber seal on them. But on the roof we'll have to do something. The walls I don't think it'll matter as much. This should be a sturdy little building when it's done. All we gotta do is finish drilling them out and put them in. So we got this piece cut and it's mounted in there. All I have to do is weld it into place. It's very hard getting it exactly square because I don't think our frame is actually square. Okay, our piece is welded in there. I think we got it fairly straight. So we'll be putting metal down to this, and then our door will close against this. So it's looking pretty good. Okay, this is our last piece for this side, and we used just basically scrap pieces left over. As you can see, this is a little shorty, but it's going to work fine. Let's get it set up there.
Oh, nope, right there.
Okay, one side done. Now, we're going to do that to every one of the sides including the roof. We're going to be tracing everything and pre-drilling everything and then putting it on. I'm sure you guys don't want to sit and watch every bit of this, but we're going to be using just leftover metal. We're going to try not to put too much money in this. I think we're going to have about 50 bucks in this thing when we get it finished.
Yeah, because we're going to get some paint.
Yeah, because I'm going to get paint, screws, and there's a window. We got to have a window. It's just a single pane window, but we got to get one for the front of this thing. We have a couple windows for the sides, but we don't have the window for the front. So hopefully we can get that one cheap. Okay, we're working on the back side right now. Got one piece on and getting ready to put another one on. And we continue using all scrap metal.
Let me find my pencil.
If you can get a clamp on the top.
Oh, yeah, hold on a second.
Okay, we're going to call it a night. We have all the metal on the outside besides the door and the roof. We did some little corners here. They don't look the best, but they're going to work. It is a hunting blind. It's not a house. So the corners make it nice to block some of that air also. So tomorrow, hopefully, we'll get the roof on it. And I have some side windows we can put in, and we might even start on the front door. But I haven't decided whether I'm going to build the front door out of wood or steel. Not sure yet. Now, for condensation purposes, what we're doing is we're taking this Tyvek and we're going to glue it. And we just used a spray glue on here. We use a spray adhesive and we glued it up there, and then we'll trim the excess off once we get done with it and it sets up. But that's going to keep the moisture. Like, this roof is probably going to sweat if we put heat in it, so we don't want it to sweat. So we got one more piece to put up there, and we'll overlap this here, so if any water comes off of it, it'll go down this way. Alright, I had a couple old windows that I wanted to put in this thing, and they're just kind of just for metal. I already put one on this side. Let me see if I can give you guys a better view. You can see the little window I put in, and that's to look out the side. And I have one more to put over there on that side over there. They're really nice little windows. I bought them at a yard sale for $5 about 30 years ago, and I've been storing them ever since. Julie's been yelling at me, so I figured we'd get to put them to good use. These are nice windows because they just clamp between the metal. I'm not sure what they were used for in the past, but we know what they're going to be used for in the future. That way, if you see that big buck walking up the side, you'll be able to shoot out the front. Now, this building, you're only going to be able to shoot out the front of it, not the sides. And if I was going to keep this myself, this would be perfect for where I live because I can't shoot out either side. I can only shoot in one direction. But it's nice to know what's coming up on the side of you. Perfect little waterproof windows. Well, we got us an old door donated for the hunting blind. It's a 32-inch door. We're going to see if we can make this work on the front of our hunting shack. So just got to get it cleaned up, then we got to cut it down, and we got to put a window in it because we need a window we can shoot out of. I think this is going to work out pretty good actually. So we're just going to try to clean this mud and stuff off of it and get it up on the sawhorse. So what I'm going to do now is I cut some 2x4s, and we're going to frame around the inside of this with some 2x4s. And then we'll start working on our door, cutting it down, just to see exactly what size we need. So, yeah, we got a little bit of work here to do, but I'm going to get it. I'm going to drill right through this metal framework, and we're going to screw it right into that board right there. Okay, so I got a good 2x4 trim frame around this door. I'm about 3/4 inch bigger than what I need, I'm pretty sure. We need a 32-inch opening. I don't like to make it too tight. We're 32.5, about 32.5, so we're a 1/2 inch bigger than what we need to be. But we'll still have to go around the inside with another trim board, so the door will have something to lean up against. So when you close it, it goes all the way closed. My biggest issue with this build here is nothing is square, and that door is square. So we're gonna have to figure that one out. Hopefully we can do this and not have it too nasty looking, but it is just a shooting shack, so we'll get her. Okay, we're going to get ready to cut our door. This is a steel door, so we're going to use an old carbide blade on this saw. We're not going to use our new blade. We're going to use an old one. We're going to go ahead and saw this guy off. Hopefully we're doing this okay. We'll see. The inside of this door has foam in it. There's foam in here. So what we'll do is we'll cut a board at the thinnest part. We'll cut a board and we'll slide a board up in there and we'll liquid nail it. Maybe put some screws in the bottom of it to kind of hold it into place, and this thing will work out just fine for a hunting shack. Well, I think the door is going to work perfect in there. All we got to do is get a frame around the inside of it, something for it to shut up against. And then we're going to be cutting a shooting door window. We're going to be building a shooting window out of here. So that's something we got to work on, and we got to get a frame around the inside. First of all, I want to finish up this door. Since we got the height that we needed, I'm going to go ahead and put some caulk in the bottom of this and seal this bottom up real good. Alright, that should seal up the bottom of that pretty good. A little bit of caulk on there. This caulk seems like it's about 900 years old, but as long as it dries and seals it up, that's all that counts. So, now we got our door. We're going to start working on something else. I don't know whether we're going to work on the frame for the window or the frame for the door. Probably ought to work on that frame for the door. So we'll get started on that. So what we're going to be using here is just some old scrap wood. Now these are the battens that we used for the front of the barn dominium. We're just going to put the old ones that we didn't use to use, and we're going to frame this door up around the inside. Okay, our doors should be able to close against that pretty good. So we're going to work all the way around the outside of it and put kind of the similar same thing all the way around it. Alright, all of our frame is up now. The door, we should be able to like just set the door right in there now. We could actually bolt our hinges up, but we still got to get that shooting window cut out of that door. I've just been working on this a little by little. I'm not putting a lot of hours in it. Just whenever I get the chance, I come out and do a little work. Okay, that's the door up there. I think it looks pretty good. You know, I was kind of worried that this thing is not built kind of square. And it's not built actually straight. So I was thinking maybe it might have been twisted. But no, it's looking good. And it's up there really nice. I like it. It's looking better. Alright, so now what I'm doing is I'm working on this little window. This is our shooting window for this door. This will be the only window you can actually shoot out of. And it's right in the center of the door. I know this is probably not ideal, but it's going to work, and it's going to give them a good shooting lane. We've got us a frame now. I think this looks pretty good. We just got to keep figuring out how we're going to make the window open and close, because this thing has to open. Well, we got to cut one direction. Check this. I've been building the frame over here. Hopefully, we cut it about the right size. Then we'll get the top measured. And once we get the top measured, we'll be able to put this guy together and have us a nice big window. So we got to get the top measured out and get it cut. Well, I do have my glass cut. I'm going to have to take this protective film off the glass. This is just plexiglass, safety glass. Get it peeled off and we'll get it back into its place there. Now, I think what we're going to do, we'll try it in here. I think everything is going to work out fine. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some caulk here. I got some caulk. I think I'm going to put it down in that crack. That way, this thing will be pretty much waterproof. And then we can do a little bit of caulk around the outside. And that'll help hold it, maybe get a little bit sturdier too. So let's do a little bit of caulk down in that crack here. Well, I might just take my finger and kind of get it down in that crack pretty good. And then wipe off what I can. Because I don't need all that in there, but it's not easy to get it into that crack. So now we can put our glass down in there. I'm not sure how this is going to work out, but we'll do our best. We'll just have to wipe it off. Now I gotta get this thing screwed together and then we'll clean it up. get what we can off of there. Okay, we will be finishing caulking this up, and we're just going to let this set and dry because we want it to, you know, stay square and everything else. Our biggest thing is it has to fit inside of our frame here. This is where our window is going to go. So it's going to fit. It's going to fit perfect in there. I think. No. And it goes on the bottom.
On the bottom. Okay, here goes nothing. It's like a glove.
Just like a glove.
Look at that. Well, I know that hole's cut really big in that thing.
If we have to go around it again, we will.
But you can go around the inside of it too before you put your other boards on there.
Oh yeah.
Put the or paint it, you know. Of course, I got my fingers in it already.
Holy moly, look how much squeezed out of
I
it.
know, that's what I said. That was a big hole.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll just put that right up in these holes because we're going to have to caulk them anyhow.
This stuff is so messy.
Now I can put the trim on there. We can caulk around there, smash the trim down on there, and be done with it.
Watch you don't cut your hose on this door.
Okay, we're good.
Okay. Great.
Okay, we got our hinges on. We had to put a little spacer on here to bring it out a little bit. But I think this is going to work just fine. It opens and closes nice. You'll be able to latch your window from the inside here, push it down, and just leave it lay down if you want it to lay down like that, or leave it up, block the air. Only thing is, maybe hard getting that window open and closed without that deer seeing you, so you might want to leave it open.
But there wasn't enough space to leave it inside.
Not enough space inside to be able to fold it up. I wish I could have made it slide up and down, but there still isn't even enough room for that inside this little tiny hunting shack. Okay, we got our thinner here. We're going to go ahead and wipe the outside of this. We got everything else done. We got the corners on, the doors done. All we got to do is get a doorknob put in there, but I think we can go ahead and paint this thing. We're going to do some crazy camouflage. I will get the paint out here in a little bit, but we're going to wipe this thing down with some thinner. The first color we'll start off with black, and we'll just see where it goes from there. It'll be a lot of fun, I think. Okay, I didn't know if you guys noticed, but we did put corners all the way down on this from the top to the bottom, which makes it look a whole lot nicer. We did put a doorknob on here. The deadbolt hole, we just blocked it up. Got all that camouflaged. This thing really turned out nice. Now the size of this thing is 42 by 48. It's the same size as a pallet. That's what's underneath of it, a plastic pallet, and it's screwed down to it. Works great. So very lightweight building. It's not very heavy. The front of it is the heaviest because of the steel door and the wood that we put in here. And we did put a doorknob on this thing, a locking doorknob. So you got a key to it now. You can unlock it. And then when you're done, you can lock it up and take your key, and you got a nice little secure hunting blind. I do like the side windows. We put the side windows in there. Now them side windows are nice, and my son kind of thought maybe I put them too far forward. There was no way I was going to put them in the back even further because there's actually them bars that go up in there. It's hard to put anything back here. I'd have to cut and weld. But when you're sitting in that chair, you're kind of leaning up there to look out, but it does a really good job of camouflaging you in the back. So when you're sitting in the back of there, there's no light on you back in there. I think if a person really wanted this thing really nice, he'd take some 3/4 inch foam board and just glue that foam board in there. This would be great. This would be a nice warm little hunting shack. Now the floor, I would also take the floor, put some 3/4 inch plywood down on there, screw it down to the pallet, and then throw some carpet on there. That gives you a little bit of insulation inside this thing. That would be nice. A small hand warming buddy heater, one of them little hand warmer buddy heaters inside there with a chair, some coffee on the side, and you're ready to hunt all day long. I think there's still a lot more that could be done to this thing, but I'm not going to keep it. I built it to sell it. We only have a couple more weeks until hunting season, and I want to get rid of this thing. I don't want to keep it. We might end up start building a few more of these, but not it just like this. We might build them like the chicken coop build, do some live edge on them. They're going to be a little bit heavier, but I think they'll be really cool looking hunting shacks. I see people selling these things all the time, and they want a lot of money. I'm not sure what this thing is worth. If you could do me a favor in the comments below, let me know what you think this guy's worth, and we'll let you know what we sold it for when we get rid of it. So we don't have a lot of money in it. As you've seen, we went around the Homestead. We picked up all the scrap metal we could find. Basically everything on this thing, but a few things like the paint. We had to buy the paint. We had to buy the doorknob. And we had to buy a couple hundred screws. There's about 300 screws in this thing, and each one of them had to be hand drilled and put in because we didn't have them self-tappers. I don't know how well them self-tappers go through that 1/8 inch steel, so we just drilled them all and put them in, put good metal screws. Now the side screws don't have any insulators on them. We did paint over them, but the top ones, we did put rubber washers on every screw on the roof. So the roof is really sealed up good, and we also put the Tyvek on the top. We glued that Tyvek on there, and then we put our metal over top of it. That way, if it does get hot in there, it's not sweating on that metal and dripping down on top of you. I think it's pretty great. Little hunting blind. We're going to get rid of it. We'll probably post it on Facebook this week. We'll see what we can get. I'm kind of anxious to build another one, actually. Cool little build. So I would like to tell everyone, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment if you like. Till next time.